Dr. Phil, I've seen 28 doctors. I've been to 4 rehabs. When I went to my last rehab, they put me on more medication than I was on when I was out. Knoxville, I double dog dare you to get in a ring with me without any boxing gloves so I could ring, 1, 2, 3, let's go. I fuck you up. Don't go see their movie because I will make mine way fucking radder if you just Venmo me $1. Just $1.
That's wrong. It's wrong. Phoenix has his own mind. I want to see Daddy now. Oh, Phoenix, maybe we should be fighting. No, but I want to see Daddy now. You're making up his own mind. Let him have his own mind. Let him have his own mind.
Bam Margera was the it thing back in the day. Not only did my friends and I try to emulate the heartogrammed man, but Margera, along with the Jackass crew, influenced creators with a video camera to do wild stunts and awesome pranks. I honestly place them as some of the OGs of prank videos, especially Bam Margera with his early CKY pranks. Though Margera has an outstanding number of supporters behind him, somewhere in Bam's destiny lies an almost unapologetic downfall. And even though it seems like he's been trying to seek help for his addictions, his journey has been a difficult one, almost borderlining his own self-destruction. This video will try to explore what went wrong with Margera and analyze a possible rise or overcoming of his addictions. So without further ado, thank you for stopping by, and welcome to the continuous self-destruction of Bam Margera. Chapter 1. A Rising Margera. Now, since most of us know the story of Bam Margera, I'll keep his start brief. Bam Margera came out of a small Pennsylvanian town called Westchester, and at an early age was an inspired filmmaker after his father, Phil Margera, would film all of his son's daily activities, from skateboarding down to the skits. This is where Bam would eventually get a name for himself, as his father would take him to several skate parks and local skating spots. He was a talented skater and filmmaker that would ultimately land him a sponsorship with Toy Machine from 1997 to 1998, and would even star in Toy Machine's Jump Off a Building video. In 1999, Bam would release the CKY video, would ride for Team Element in 2001, and have sponsorships from Volcom down to Audio Footwear. He would continue filming the CKY videos that would eventually be noticed by Jeff Tremaine, who was looking to create a crew for a show that would become a cult classic on MTV.
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass. Yeah!
Though the star of the show would be Johnny Knoxville, Bam would be featured in a number of stunts alongside his CKY crew, with the most notable member being Ryan Dunn. Chapter 2. The Jackass and MTV Era. Now this is where I think Bam began the party boy lifestyle. Jackass would run for only 3 seasons and would spawn many future Hollywood films. Though the show would conclude from MTV, Bam would be destined with a different future with the music television. Viva La Bam would broadcast Margera really living that reality/rockstar life. Not only would he throw these massive parties, he would even go on to almost live the rockstar life when meeting one of his idols, Hymns frontman Billy Vallow. Though the show aired around 40 episodes for a span of 3 years, it wouldn't be the last contract he'd sign with the network.
What will he do next?
Whatever the fuck I want.
2006 would not only be the conclusion of Viva La Bam, but it would also be the year of the release of Jackass No. 2, and in 2007, MTV premiered Bam's Unholy Union that revolved around the wedding planning of Bam and his then-fiancée, Melissa Missy Rothstein. Though the show was pretty much Viva La Bam with a hint of 90 Day Fiancé, the wedding would end with a real banger, and also mark the end of Bam's MTV reality show career. Chapter 3. The beginning of the destruction. In 2008, Bam would appear in a porno called The Fantastic Horse 4 with his longtime friend Brandon Novak, and no, he didn't have a prominent role. And in 2009, he made an appearance on MTV's Nitro Circus. But it's really in 2010 that the skateboarding star got another chance at Hollywood with the release of a very successful Jackass 3D. With Rolling Stone stating in 2010 that Jackass 3D ends on a note of resignation, with a clip reel set to Weezer's memories of the Jackass greatest hits. Knoxville and his boys seem to be saying goodbye. Bam would appear on Spike TV later that year in one episode titled Bam's World Domination, which showcased him with Ryan Dunn doing what they do best.
I'm not preparing for anything. I'm drunk.
Though it seemed like more episodes would be released, this would ultimately be the final chapter of Spike TV hosting anything with Bam. But what was the reasoning?
First of all, my mom tried to get me a psychiatrist in Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is like the middle of nowhere. Right. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, good. So I'm like, okay, Mom, I'll do it, whatever you say, because, you know, like I have trouble sleeping and, you know, well, a whole bunch of stuff. So
what were these other things Bam was talking about? Well, in March of 2011, Bam had been knocked out cold after getting into a fight on the 11th floor of a Texas hotel, because according to Bam, he was at the SXSW festival late Thursday night, walking through a crowd of a bunch of drunks, when someone said something rude to me, so I began making fun of a big girl in the group, with Bam adding, I called her a sea otter and asked her why she's in Texas. She should be in Alaska laying on an iceberg because she's a beached whale. Bam says the woman's friend punched him in the face and the two began fighting. Bam fell to the ground and the woman then delivered the knockout blow. Bam was out for 7 minutes. Bam says his face was covered in blood and he has a black eye. On top of that, he lost his $500 bracelet. Jesus Christ. In May 2011, a video of Bam calling Dr. Drew's love line would be posted in which Bam is heard questioning the validity of the psychiatrist he'd been seeing.
this lady sits me down, asks me my problem, and I just change the whole subject and turn it around to her. And I go, okay, you live in Exton, Pennsylvania, so, you know, if I just went to Helsinki, Paris, Stockholm, London, Oslo, you know, like Bermuda, Tokyo, how are you going to know my problem when you haven't even been to any of those places?
Well, Bam, it's not like when we look into our diagnostic manuals, it includes travelogues.
In the same video, Bam can also be heard almost bashing Steve-O's sobriety.
Steve-O is sober now. It's been maybe 2 years by now, and he's super stoked about it. You know, we're in Madrid filming a new movie, and the opening of the movie in Spain, and you know, Steve-O can't even be there because he felt like he might be tempted that he wants to drink. Like, you know, I'd rather, like, go to Spain and have fun with all my friends and be tempted to drink.
Jackass cast member Ryan Dunn has died. Police say Dunn and a passenger in his 2007 Porsche died early Monday.
Ryan Dunn, one of the stars of MTV's Jackass, died in a car accident early Monday morning, the Associated Press reported.
Ryan Dunn's death not only affected the Jackass community as a whole, but it would predominantly impact his best friend Bam Margera, with news stations covering Bam's distraught moment at the scene of the accident.
I've never lost anybody that I care about. It's my best friend.
Bam also made it very clear today, there is a lesson to be learned from this tragedy.
This definitely woke me up, and like coming from a Jackass, like I recommend to everybody, do not get behind the wheel if you've been drinking. Just don't.
In Bala Cynwyd, Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
When you're drunk, you always think that you're not.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
like,
and listen.
Dude,
4 months after Ryan Dunn's tragic death, Margera would get himself into an accident where he was luckily uninjured. and thus outlining the year that propelled Bam Margera's self-destruction. Chapter 4: The Destruction. It's no secret that Bam's struggle with alcoholism dates back to his days on MTV, but Ryan Dunn's death started a series of, well, one could call them destructive behaviors. In 2012, Bam got some flack for holding a supposedly fake gun to his puppy's head, with a note stating, "If she poops one more time, she goes bye-byes." Not too long after that, Bam was handcuffed and thrown into a cell at an airport after officials accused him of trying to board a plane while extremely intoxicated. He was even involved in an alleged street fight in Australia of that same year, and to add a cherry on top of all that, he had divorced Missy Rothstein, with his ex-wife stating, "Officially divorced, happy finally free. Who wanna come to my divorce party?" Though he had a few mishaps in 2012, 2013 would give Bam a chance back on network television, with TBS for Bam's Badass Game Show.
We have 3 challenges, and whoever sucks the worst after each challenge will be sent packing.
The show would only air for 6 episodes, and Bam would even get arrested later that year upon his arrival in Iceland for ruining a rental car he had rented back in 2012. It's safe to say that Bam was going downhill, and throughout the years he's been in and out of rehabs, in and out of handcuffs, even having beef with some of his ex-Jackass co-stars for basically being a liability for the new Jackass movie. Though the Jackasses claim to have done this to help Bam, it ultimately caused a falling out with the members. Bam is also going through another divorce and is only able to see his son under Nikki's supervision. And let's not forget about the Dr. Phil episode.
I don't want to see you, talk to you, or anything you. I want you to leave me alone. And you did everything to not leave me alone.
In 2023, Steve-O would basically leak Bam's new Instagram account since the old one is run by someone else apparently. And honestly, Bam claims to be in rehab but continues to rant here and there about the Jackass crew and even his longtime friend Brandon Novak.
I love how Novak wants to throw me under the bus on Instagram, saying, "I heard Bam's out there not doing too hot. As a matter of fact, I'm doing better than I ever have."
Bam's also been using the platform as a form of therapy and airing out all of his dirty laundry, unfortunately mainly about Nikki not letting him see his son Phoenix. Steve-O would also take Bam on tour with him early that same year, and it seemed as if Bam was on a possible rise with posts of him looking a bit slimmer, working out, and smiling a lot more. Maybe we were getting the old Bam back. Bam would be arrested on suspicion of domestic violence in Escondido, California, last week after a woman told police that he had kicked her. A few weeks later, he was arrested for public intoxication at a restaurant, and Margera was seen arguing with someone, though further details weren't released. He was later released on a $500 bond. Chapter 5: The Ending. Bam's appearance on Steve-O was very promising. Promising in the sense that Bam was getting help, surrounded himself by good people, and even had a fucking shaman. But with the recent videos and even challenging Johnny Knoxville to a boxing match, it seems as though Bam had fallen to his deepest end. A possible rise almost seems out of the question. Nowadays, we see Bam posting random pictures of himself with a little girl, which almost seems as some sort of ploy for his divorce case, with people in the comment section stating, "I don't understand this arc. Bam adopted another child to fill the void of Phoenix the Wolf. Get help, Bam." And one commenting, "Why is this woman not protecting her child from this social media shit show? Allowing your kid to be used as divorce-fueled clickbait. Not a good look." It's uncertain where Bam will be headed in the future, but if he doesn't come to terms with his actions, it will definitely be a struggling incline back to legendary status.